Well, today in writing marks the day that we are officially going to talk about facts and opinions. Now, we know that we've been learning the difference between what a fact is and opinion is. And we've slowly been talking about it. And we've mostly been talking about debunking and remember spam and scam, right? And so being able to distinguish and understand what a fact is and understand what an opinion is one of those ways that we can make sure we're not being spammed and scammed, and to make sure that we know how to navigate life in a way that we can be successful and not be taken advantage of. So, why is it important for me to know the difference between facts and opinions? Why do I care that you know this? Well, I'm going to tell you. Sorry for moving my camera around. So, whether it's on the news or in advertising or in a history book, being able to distinguish between what is fact and what is opinion is crucial to becoming an autonomous person with the critical abilities necessary to avoid being manipulated easily. That's a whole lot. Let's look at these three vocabulary terms so that we can understand what this means. An autonomous person, the word autonomous right here, autonomous. And if we look over here, the word autonomous just means independent. It means something you can do on your own. If you are autonomous, it means that you are responsible enough to live independently and to do things on your own without requiring someone else to do it for you. That is not the same thing as needing help. You can still be autonomous and need help. It's requiring that someone else does it for you. That's not independent. Critical abilities. Critical abilities are skills to live successfully. And you'll notice that the lady in the picture says, I have to back it all up with evidence. That's anything that proves something. Facts are evidence. And you have heard me say claim, evidence, reasoning. The claim is what you're stating is true or you believe. The evidence are the facts that back it up, and the reason is why you use those facts to back up your claim, and why are you even saying a claim? And we'll get more into that later. And then this last word says manipulated. And you'll look at this picture. Manipulation has a couple of definitions, and one is very negative, and one is just run of the mill. So to manipulate just simply means to control someone or something. So if I manipulate my pen, that just means I'm using my pen to do something, right? That's a manipulation that's okay. But the picture that we have here are two guys and they're holding all this cash, and they have one person with the sign that says yes, and they have one another person that says no, and it looks like those two puppets are fighting each other. And that is a manipulation that is negative. The manipulation of getting you to believe stuff that's not true so that other people can make money, or so that people can just essentially stir up trouble. And that's what a lot of times you see happening on social media, on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. People manipulating each other simply to push other people's buttons and watch what happens. And we don't want to be manipulated like that. So we'll read this one more time. Why is it important for me to know the difference between facts and opinions? Whether on the news, in advertising, or a history book, distinguishing between what is fact and what is opinion is crucial, super important, to becoming an autonomous person with the critical abilities necessary to avoid being manipulated easily. Essentially, being able to distinguish between fact and opinion and know the difference will help you navigate life in a way where you are not going to be taken for granted or taken advantage of, and you'll be able to navigate things successfully. So, what is a fact? And what exactly is an opinion? Well, let's look at that. On the right of our screen, we see fact. So, a fact is a true statement that can be proved or verified. Now, we've talked about the word truth and how experience impacts truth. So, we really do want to be sticking with the word facts. So, facts is a statement that can be proved or unproven or verified. Now, it says a fact doesn't change no matter who says it. And while that is true, facts do change. We know that from science. We used to believe that sticking leeches on your skin and letting leeches suck out blood was the way to make people well again. That used to be something they believed as fact. But now that we have better technology and a better understanding of things, we know that you need things like um, antibacterial medication, or if it's a virus, we know that that can be helped with a vaccine. And those are facts that change. Facts can change, but facts can only change when research and science backs it up, because then you can prove the new fact. You know, it's a fact when you see different signal words. So, for instance, if you see a number or a statistic, if there's a document or eyewitnesses, dates and records really help. Substantiate, that's a big word. Substantiate just means it's been proven. Um, so, if we look at the example, it says New York is made up of 5 boroughs. That's no one's opinion. It has nothing to do with emotions. And that's really the big difference. Facts are not emotions. Opinions are always emotions. So let's switch over to the opinion side now. An opinion is something a person thinks or feels, and it's not necessarily supported by proof or knowledge. And opinions are different from person to person. You will have a lot of opinions that are the same, but opinions change depending on who you talk to. The fact that a tree um, carries water from its roots up into its branches, that's a fact. It doesn't matter who you talk to. That's always going to be how it happens, and we can prove it with science, that that actually occurs. An opinion would be, "I like tall trees," or "Tall trees are the best." Well, maybe there are people who really like short trees. Or maybe people like bushes and they don't even like trees. So an opinion always has a sense of belief or emotion. So signal words are like good or bad, interpretation, assumption, when someone says, in my opinion, prefer, guess. Um, and most of the time, if it's a comparison word, better, best, worse, worst, those tend to be opinion words. An example that they give is New York is probably the most famous city in America. There is no way you can prove that. And there are a lot of people who would disagree. And so that's also going to be something that you simply believe. Well, New York is the most popular city I know, so it probably is, right? That's not a fact. We can't prove it. Whoops. So now let's look at some facts. Okay, these are all written as actual facts. We can prove them. So the probability, that's a statistic word, the probability of you drinking a glass of water right here that contains a molecule of water that also passed through a dinosaur is almost 100%. That's actually pretty cool, isn't it? And we know that because of the water cycle and how water is recycled through the environment. Um, Also, it did not say it is 100%, it said almost, right? And it's talking about probability, which means we're not saying that this is 100% accurate. So number 2, let's look over here at the corn. All right, and we actually looked at corn last semester that were heirloom corn, or the corn that the indigenous people of the Americas actually ate, and it does. It's the gem corn. So it says glass gem is a unique strain of corn with kernels that look like pieces of rainbow colored glass. And we can look at the picture and we can say yes. So we're good to go. Here is another fact. Let's pop down here. That every time a baby girl is born in the Indian village of Piplatri, the residents come together and they plant 111 trees in her honor. Now you may be going, well, how do we know if that's a fact? I can go research it. I could even travel there and watch it for myself. So therefore, it's a fact. It can be proven. And then let's come over to Mario over here. And I thought this was a really interesting fact. And it's one that I learned that Mario hits the blocks with his hand and not his head. And I think I might have known that, but it looks like he hits it with his head. And so what this person has done is they've taken a picture of Mario hitting the block, and then we can see in the bottom picture where they have blown it up that in fact Mario is hitting the block with his hand. So you can learn a lot with facts. The next one, these these are not facts. These are opinions. Okay, so we're going to start over here with the watermelon, and we're going to go We're going to go clockwise around this. So this person said watermelon has absolutely no taste. It's like biting into mushy water. Now, I know a lot of people who don't like watermelon because they say it doesn't taste like anything, but I also know a lot of people who think watermelon is amazing. That's an opinion. Because when we say taste like, everybody's taste is totally different. Like we could both eat the same orange, but our taste buds are different. We have different taste buds that have different sensitivities. So that is an opinion. When we come down to the cupcakes, this person said cupcakes aren't good. The frosting is overwhelming and the actual cake portion literally tastes like nothing. Well, I don't know what nothing tastes like. Um, and I assume it's like I have nothing in my mouth. Nope, I'm pretty sure cupcakes don't taste like air. So they can't taste like nothing, right? A lot of people, their favorite part of the cupcake is the frosting. So it's not overwhelming to everybody. So this is a person's opinion. We can disprove all of this. If we come over to our monsters over here in the corner, this is talking about people liking the taste of mint. So you've got the little pink monster and it says, "Ah, the goodness of mint leaves." Now, do you like mint? I like mint gum. Sometimes I like mint chocolate chip ice cream if I'm really hot. I'll have some in summer. Sometimes little mint chocolates are okay, but they're not my favorite. Then there are people who are like, they get a peppermint mocha frappuccino. That's what he's got in his hand. He's like, "Ah, what's this? Toothpaste in a cup?" I know a lot of people who think and really feel like anything with mint is like eating toothpaste. Do you ever feel that way? So again, it's an opinion. Opinions have to do with likes and dislikes, and likes and dislikes have to do with your culture, has to do with your experience, has to do with your family, has to do with your own brain chemistry. That's why opinions can be divisive. People can get really upset and angry about other people's opinions. Um, an opinion becomes problematic when you act on an opinion that would hurt somebody else. That's when an opinion is not okay. You can have any opinion in the world you want, no matter how awful it is. And it's okay to have that opinion. But as soon as you turn that opinion into action that hurts another person, that's when it becomes not okay. So opinions don't hurt people, actions do, right? And so I thought this was really interesting. Nickelback is a Canadian band. And I'm just going to admit right now, I like Nickelback. I think their songs are good. I like singing them. I have no problem with Nickelback. But there's a lot of hate in the world for Nickelback, and I've never understood why people don't like Nickelback. And I think it's a really good example of an opinion that takes off in a way that actually does have an impact on other people. So let's read the quote. And this was written by a staff writer by the name of Rugile. And it says, "It is completely okay to have different opinions about music or food or anything else for that matter. It's also normal to not agree with one another. But there are some people in this world who may have gone too far with their opposing views or are just trying to get on everyone's nerves." And we talked about that with social media. Recently, people on Twitter started sharing their unpopular music opinions, and some, while weird, were still acceptable. For example, standing by their love of country music, or uh, I love techno music. There are a lot of people who do not like techno or electronica, right? But then there were some whose opinion are simply outrageous, from calling the Beatles overrated to saying all rap music stinks. These people are definitely trying to stir up some arguments, and well, they succeeded. Be careful on social media. Okay, that is the biggest place where you are going to see things stated as a fact when really they are an opinion. And so I pulled this one tweet off from this guy, and it says Nickelback is a good band, but everybody hates on them because the internet told them to. And that's true. They're actually a good band. The people in it are fine. There's no reason to hate them except that someone on Twitter a long time ago, and I went and researched this, simply said that they were an awful band and it took off like wildfire. And that's why people hate Nickelback. If you ask people why they hate Nickelback, specifically asking what in their music don't you like, very few people can actually give you a reason. And that's one of those times where an opinion has taken off and it does impact other people. Facts and opinions. So we're going to practice facts and opinions now, and I'm going to exit so that I can actually type into our screen. I'm going to move me back over here. Okay, so we've got 4 facts and 4 opinions. Okay, there are 8 things right here. We're going to talk about which one is a fact and can be proven, and which one is an opinion, can't be proven. It's based on someone's own personal experience. It's not universal, meaning it's not the same for everybody. So, for instance, facts. Okay, let's read the list. Pizza comes from Italy. Is that a fact or an opinion? Well, pizza comes from other places for sure, but the original pizza actually does come from Italy. There is nothing emotional about that. Pizza comes from Italy. So we're going to write right here pizza comes from Italy. Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Pizza is delicious. Can we prove that? Do most people think pizza is delicious? Probably. Do we have people who don't think it's delicious? Absolutely. And remember, delicious is literally a taste. If it's a taste, then there you go. So we're going to put right here that pizza is delicious, and that's an opinion. Now let's come up here. Okay, the next one. The best pizza topping is pepperoni. Now, we have a key word that lets us know immediately it's an opinion. And what word is that? That's right, this word, best. Best is a comparison word, and that is an opinion word. So, the best pizza topping is pepperoni. Okay, that is an opinion. So, I'm going to move. Whoops. Nope, I'm not gonna move anything, so just don't even worry about it. Okay, let's do the next one. Pizza is often made with crust, tomato sauce, cheese, and toppings. Now, is that a fact or opinion? It is a fact because instead of saying pizza is made with these things, it says often. That means that you can make a variety of pizzas with different ingredients, and that actually we can prove that. So, pizza is often ooh, made with crust, tomato sauce, cheese, and toppings. Not toppings, toppings. Okay, let's do the next one. Pizza was first brought to the United States by Italian immigrants in the late 19th century. Was that something we can go prove? Yeah, if we looked it up, we could prove it. Does that have any emotion in it? Like, pizza is delicious. Right? We even have an exclamation mark at the end. The best pizza, right? There's no way to read this emotionally. So that's going to be a fact. So we'll put it here. Pizza was first brought to the United States. Ooh, my typing today, sorry. By Italian immigrants in the late 19th century. Okay, let's do the next one. The tastiest pizza comes from Papa John's. Fact or opinion? Yeah, that's an opinion. Um, the tastiest. And again, we have that EST, so it's a comparison word. And most of the time, when you've got comparison words like that, it will be an opinion. So the tastiest pizza comes from Papa John's. Okay. Frozen pizzas cooked at home do not taste very good. Well, right there, look at that. We've got that word taste, talking about taste, and we've talked about that. So that is also an opinion. So frozen pizzas cooked at home do not taste very good. And I, for one, would happen to disagree with that anyway, because I like frozen pizza. And so then we have a pizza with a deep dish crust is called Chicago style. And that is true. Pizza with a deep dish, whoops, wrong, deep dish crust. Okay, a deep dish crust is called Chicago style. Uh, oh my gosh, I apologize for my. Okay, so we've got our facts and our opinions, and we did that by number one, asking, is there emotion involved? And number two, what are our key words, right? So today you are going to come in to, we're going to come into our fact and opinion activity. Okay, and what we're going to do in this is we are going to read this passage about sloths. Yes, you're welcome, Grace. No, I didn't go try to find it. It just was meant to be. So, we have a reminder. If something is true or really happened, it's a fact. Again, I don't like that word truth. So, I really want you to think about it. If it can be proven, it is a fact. If it can be proven and it's the same here as it would be in a different country, it's a fact. If something is what someone thinks or believes or feels, then it's an opinion. So you're going to read this passage about sloths, okay? And then you're going to come to your second page. Let me exit out of this to show you. And for this, you are simply going to be moving this box and covering the one that's not true. I want to see the correct answer. So, sloths are the slowest mammals on earth. Well, I know that that is a fact. So, I take my box and I just pull it over and I hide opinion so that it reads true. Sloths are the slowest mammals on earth. Fact. Okay. It takes a full minute for a sloth to move 6 feet across the ground. Oh my gosh. Well, I would need to come back in here. Oh, and look, it tells me right away. Sloths are the slowest moving mammals on earth. It takes a full minute for a sloth to move 6 feet across the ground. You probably couldn't move that slowly if you tried. Well, I've never done that. So it takes a full minute for a sloth to move 6 feet across the ground. That is a fact. Now, what about this next one? You probably couldn't move that slow if you tried. What do we think about that one? Yeah, that's an opinion because number one, we have an exclamation mark right there. All right. So that's something that we always, when we see that, we always want to question. Also, you probably couldn't move that slowly. Well, you know what? Um, I could move that slowly. If you mark off 6 feet and you're timing me, I can definitely move that slowly. I don't want to, but I could. So that is an opinion. So do you see how I covered up fact? Because opinion is the answer. So that's how you're going to do it. It should give me, I should be able to see the actual answer. See, I can see the correct answer. So you're going to cover up the wrong answer. All right. So fact versus opinion. It's a really, really important concept to understand so that you won't be manipulated. Remember, that's having someone control you or tricking you into thinking certain things, usually so they can make some money. And it's also important to be able to successfully move through life. So remember, a fact can be proven. Facts change, but they change with science. They don't change just because, like, my chair has a blanket on it, right? And my blanket's sequence. Now, I can't just go, oh, no, I'm going to change this fact. This is blue. No, it's not. It's green. I can't just change a fact like that, right? So, facts can be proven with science or with extensive research. Opinions, their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions. You have to look for those key words. Practice it by reading this passage. Go through, mark what's a fact and an opinion, and have fun with it.